Let's take just one of those honors. We could take a bunch of them. Let's just take one of them and let's just replace it with precious, okay? Look at this. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 9. But we see Jesus. Who do we see? Put him in the middle, okay? We see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor. The word right there for honor is the same word in Peter for precious. Crowned with glory and preciousness. I just like the way it sounds. It means a little more to me even than honor. Because in some ways, we honor, in America, the highest honor is to die for your country. Okay? Praise God. Thank God for those who have paid what we call the ultimate price. Right? I'm not trying to be political, but I just say thank God, because we live in a country where people paid the ultimate price. That's high honor. We give the highest of honor in our nation to that. That's foreign to the Greek. It doesn't mean we're wrong. That's our definition. Honor here is preciousness. It's so valuable. God crowned Jesus with glory and preciousness, that He, by the grace of God, might taste death for everyone, or that He might pay the ultimate price for all of us. Somebody has already died for you. God's not asking you to die for Him. He's asking you to live. Jesus said, I have come that they might have, not I have come that they might die, and die sacrificially. In fact, when Paul wanted to call you a sacrifice, he said, you are a living sacrifice. You are someone who gives themselves sacrificially while they're alive, who does not feel like their greatest gift they can give God is to die for Him, but to live for Him. It's a living sacrifice. Let me give you one more, and I want to bring this one into your home practically as we head you to your vehicles. Okay? Look at this one. 1 Peter 3:7, this is one chapter away from our precious verse. Husbands, likewise dwell with your wives with understanding, giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. We take 1 Peter 3:7 and we get all up in the air about it in a culture like ours in America, because we see the phrase as the weaker vessel, and some people get all upset. But please put it in the context of where it was written. And it's not written as a social commentary. It was written as a spiritual reality, comparing God's people to Adam and Eve. And so, did you know the whole marriage issue in the New Testament is not God telling you how your marriage is. It's God telling you how your marriage is with Him. It's not your marriage with each other, although your marriage with each other should be a reflection of your marriage with Him. The closer your earthly marriage reflects your heavenly marriage, the happier your earthly marriage will be. The further it is from your heavenly marriage, the more it'll be like the world. And how's that working out? Okay? And so there's a distinct difference. The authors didn't write to teach you how to make your marriage better. They wrote to teach you about your heavenly marriage, and knowing that would improve your marriage. So you are the weaker vessel in the marriage with God, because you're always the female in the marriage. He's the husband, we're the bride, right? If we're the bride, we're the female in the marriage. That's not meant to be a gender thing. It's just meant to state a spirit fact about our wedding. We together? Walking through this slowly. I want to get this right. I want to make sure we all get it. We are in the marriage the weaker vessel. Well, we don't have a problem with that. We have a problem with it when it comes to societal, but we don't have a problem when it gets spiritual. So take it spiritual. That's what it was written to be. So as the weaker vessel, it's not saying women are weak, but as the weaker vessel in the marriage, based upon the Adam and Eve relationship, which is really a reflection of the father and the bride relationship, the husband and the bride relationship, give honor as a weaker vessel, being heirs together of the grace of life. Honor, same word. Precious. How does the Father look at you? Precious. Husbands likewise dwell with them with understanding, giving honor to the wife. So take it into the relationship. Take it into, because he did talk to real people here, husbands. Take it into real marriages. Husbands, if you would view your wife as precious, you would be heirs together of the grace of life. I think it's one of the more under-preached verses in the grace community. I hate movement. The grace community, we're not talking a lot about the grace of life, which is an accessible grace in the marriage covenant, where two people are not in a social contract anymore. They are living life in and through and with one another, discovering the beauty of life through the marriage covenant, and actually tasting something about life that cannot be achieved on your own. See that? Now, I've got some married people sitting here nodding their head yes. They have seen this. They have seen that as they honor one another as the preciousness of God, they experience the grace of God in a way they never could have had on their own. Just no way they could have ever tasted that kind of grace living on their own. I've got other marriages who are looking at me with a blank slate. They're going, this is new ground, Pastor. I don't feel that in my heart. And so the issue then is how we honor one another, how we view one another as precious. Because you need to know how the Father views you, and that is as precious. And the more we do that to one another, the more we experience the grace of life. And I believe you can grow in a place in your marriage to where you don't understand life without the other half of your covenant. You don't comprehend life without the other half of your covenant, right? To where you would have to relearn that. And thank God we have a husband who loves us, who teaches us the other half of that grace, so that even if we're not married or we've lost a spouse or wherever we're at, he is to us, as he said I will be, a husband spiritually, and begins to do that in our lives.